Hi, babe. Welcome to the Horror Babe Show. I'm your host, Chelsea Beller. Fascinating story about relationship dynamics. Future cult film status among codependent lovers. Would oddly make for a good date night movie. Fun movie. Creative. Unless you've seen Human Centipede. No complaints. Squirm-inducing details. The result is not much more than a frustratingly slight genre exercise. Not scary and poorly executed. 0 out of 10. Seriously, the dumbest thing I've seen in a while. Let's review together with spoilers. Before we get into that, here's a spooky reminder that you can support the show and moi with the PayPal QR code here on the screen. You can also become a Patreon member and get exclusive and early access to your favorite horror hostess. Last but not least, I have a merch shop where you can get Horror Babe merch. What is that? What a merch store is? Yes. Yeah, I know. Crazy. All of these links live in the description below. Thank you for supporting the show. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm also posting a spoiler-free review of Together today. So if you accidentally clicked on the wrong one, you don't want spoilers, click on that one. I'll put it up here and down here. Together is a 2025 supernatural body horror written and directed by Michael Shanks in his directorial debut, starring IRL married couple Alison Brie and Dave Franco as Millie and Tim, a couple who moves from the busy city life to the countryside where they hope to find a little bit of peace. But they do not. They fall into a hole and then they start fusing together, which is weird. You know, if I'm being honest, that's just a little freaky. If you're in a long-term relationship when you watch this, I think you'll get a kick out of it. There's a lot of conversations and arguments that these two have that being a fellow long-term relationship partner, I was laughing, honestly. I mean, a lot of this stuff is like universal, I want to say. I think a lot of people in long-term relationships, platonic, romantic, familial, we have these types of conversations quite a lot, honestly. Speaking as someone who's also in a long-term relationship with Mike of Mike's Monsters, you should follow him and his YouTube channel. Yes, we're both YouTubers. It's not weird. It's not. Why would you say that? That's so, keep it to yourself. The truth is, codependency can be extremely difficult to navigate, especially for someone with an anxious attachment style like Tim, being with someone with a more secure attachment style like Millie. Let's break down what was rad and what was not so rad. Rad! I'm so dumb. I liked the cinematography, and I liked the use of some of those horror shots, like those like quintessential horror shots, and those quick cuts that sit you right up in your seat. You go, whoa, okay. I also thoroughly enjoy watching Alison Brie. I mean, she's beautiful, she's incredibly talented. I remember her from back in the Community days when she was on Community. I don't know if you know Community, but that is a fun, funny show. And it's not horror at all. It's pure comedy, but it's absolutely delightful. And she is so funny in it. I smiled to myself when I caught Allison doing the Annie eye flutter. She does this thing. I cannot do it. But basically, she keeps her eyes open and flutters her eyelashes at the same time because she's trying not to cry. And I smiled to myself when she did that because she would do it so often on the show. And it kind of became a bit at a point. But that was like, oh, it's Annie. But she's all grown up now. Yeah, I think she's such a great actress. And truly, I don't think I've seen Dave Franco in much. But I thought he was awesome too. He did a really great performance. I will say, I did not expect this movie to be as funny as it was. Going into this, I kind of thought it was going to be more serious leaning, but it was hilarious. But I also believe that with body horror comes a level of comedy, because body horror can be so over the top and grotesque and like outlandish that it becomes comedic, especially to like a seasoned horror person. So I thought there were some seriously funny moments throughout, and the audience, because I watched it in theaters, the audience was laughing along as well. Like, I think I was actually in a theater of quite a number of horror people because they were laughing at the same stuff I was laughing at, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm with my peers. The humanoid creatures, the fused missing couple, Simon and Carrie, and then obviously toward the end of the film, fused Millie and Tim. Those creatures were very well done. Not as impressive as the substance, but still very creepy and great effects. Honestly, I can't tell you if that was practical or CGI. And I imagine it was a bit of both at different points, but very effective. Not so rad. The story about Tim's parents felt like a red herring of sorts. And maybe that was the point, or maybe the point was to present his mother's mental illness or to present yet another codependent couple. But the film made it seem like there was going to be more there, and then there wasn't. It was just, hey, here's this thing. And then nothing. And that was it. He had this horrible dream and relayed the memory from this dream to Millie. That was it. Seemed like it was simply meant for a scare, which I'm not really a fan of. I don't like the scares just for a scare so much. I'm gonna warn you, a lot of these are just like questions I've listed as bullet points because I have a lot of questions. When Tim and Millie go down the hole for the first time, why did the missing couple not expose themselves? They expose themselves later to Tim alone. And not only that, but they try to kill him, question mark. Is that even what they're doing? What are they doing? Are they trying to fuse with him too? They were like coming at him, like onto him. And there was no explanation, seemingly. I just kept asking myself, to what end? Why is this happening? Like, yes, it was creepy, it was spooky as hell, but why? Why did Tim ever so simply use EXIF data to find the location of the missing couple? And yet, they remained missing. Now, granted, maybe a police officer, an investigator, someone did also do that, use EXIF data on this couple's Facebook post, and like went to the location and just simply didn't find them. But didn't the couple want to be found? And if not, why? I don't know. It seemed like when they finally did expose themselves that they were clearly in distress. So why wouldn't why? I don't know. Okay, here's a question. Why did the place of worship fall into the earth? Nobody asked. Nobody asked. They were like, oh yeah, it fell into the earth. Cool. Makes sense. Okay. I mean, you could have thrown in the word sinkhole somewhere, like just to bring about some kind of explanation. Like, was it a sinkhole? I mean, that happens. Especially knowing that there was that like water thing below. Like, okay, I could believe that was a sinkhole. But it was also like sunken in such a way that there was this opening, and then there was that like perfect watering hole. I don't know, man. It just felt weird. Not only that, but what was in the water? Hello? Is anyone asking that? What was in the water? A cult is just a cult. They're just a bunch of people following one person for some unknown reason. Okay? Like, nothing was said about like, oh yeah, they're a magic cult. Yeah, they did some kind of ritual and now the water makes things fuse together for some reason. Or they found this watering hole and realized its capabilities and then started a cult and the earth did it? What was the purpose of this cult? They fuse people together, sure. But to what end? Why? Also, I was wondering, is this cult like the place of worship, the cult itself, like a commentary on marriage? Was that part of the message? Like, marriage is like a cult? Marriage like entering your own cult? The cult of married people? Like, I don't know, my parents are divorced. Oh yeah, what was the point of the cult ritual where they sliced each other's forearms with those rings? What was the point of that? In my mind, I chalked it up to like, oh, the exposing of their blood makes it easier for them to like fuse together or something. Like, I don't know. I wrote, is that to facilitate the fusing process? That's just a funny question. Okay, I only have like two more. Brief mention of suicide. Warning. Why did Tim propose to Millie only to then threaten to off himself? Did that make sense to anyone else? Didn't really make sense to me. Felt kind of weird. Also, felt like, is this supposed to be comedic because it's not hitting? I don't know. Finally, last question. I swear. Why did they choose this ending? I honestly think I would have preferred if that ending happened and then Tim woke up, right? Like it was all a dream. And then maybe he like turns over and like Millie's choking on his hair or something, like an air of, oh, did it happen? Is it going to happen? What's happening? You know, like that would have hit better for me. Them just ending, listen, I'm a fiercely independent person in a long-term relationship. As such, this was a bit infuriating to me. Like, y'all are just gonna let this happen? Like, you're just gonna let yourselves become one? When to become one. Okay. Like, okay, so what is the message of the film then, if any? Is the message like, hey, codependency is great. Do it. Just do it. It's fun. It's not culty at all. I don't know, man. I'm so open to hearing what your thoughts are on the message of this film. Like, to be fair, I don't need answers to any of those questions. They're completely rhetorical. And like, unless Allison, Dave, or Michael Shanks respond, it's all rhetorical. But I am curious what you guys think the message of the film was. And like, the thing is, a great deal of horror movies end unfavorably. That's the nature of horror movies. Like, oftentimes, yeah, the protagonist dies or endures a life-altering sacrifice, right? But they still remain victorious because of everything they went through. This did not have that same payoff. This felt more like, we're giving up. We're just going to fuse together and it's fine. We want to become one. When to become one. Bummer. Such a bummer. I wish this had a better payoff and more explanations, honestly. Who knows? With this becoming a summer horror movie success, Like, there could be a sequel, and maybe in that sequel, we'll get answers. But nah, until then, I'm giving this film, I said in my other review, I'm giving this film a 3.8 out of 5. Not quite 3.5, not quite 4. 3.8 out of 5. But I want to know, how did you feel about this film? What would you rate it? Let me know in the comments. Well, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Letterboxd to see what I'm watching and what I'm rating. Bye, babe.